Hi, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Excuse the Beard. We are living through relatively distressing times right now. Every day, 3,500 people are dying of the coronavirus, adding to the quarter of a million people who have already died from the coronavirus, and these are the official statistics. The real world statistics could be many multiples of this. However, as I have ranted in the past, we are not testing enough people, so we really don't know the true spread of the coronavirus outbreak that we are currently enduring. And I won't even call this a wave, I'll call it for what it is. It is a tsunami. And much like tsunamis, and if you have seen videos of the 2004 December Indian Ocean Tsunami, you will know that they give you some warning that they're coming. In 2004, the water went out, exposing the seafloor, which, if you remember your middle school geography, was a good sign that you should get to higher ground. However, many people just walked onto the exposed seafloor and almost ensuring their deaths. Just like that in India, despite warning after warning that something bad might happen, we walked onto the exposed seafloor. We traveled to Goa, we organized big religious festivals, and even held elections with mega rallies and thousands of unmasked people. Our leaders led the way. They said, oh, yeah, let's go out there and do something. We believed in Indian exceptionalism. So, what were these warning signs? Let's look at them a bit more. The first and most significant warning sign that something bad might happen in India was not so much the British variant, but what happened in Brazil. The town of Manaus in the Amazon basin is one of the most remote large cities in the world. Yet, this city was devastated by an outbreak in February, actually late January. We should have seen and understood what was happening in Brazil, and some of us were hearing what was going on in Brazil and being very concerned and worried, and thought that the Indian government should immediately take steps to prevent a Brazilian sort of outbreak in India. What happened in Brazil? They expected everything would be fine and dandy. You also had incompetent political leadership to a degree over there, and there was denial. So when Manaus started going under, where they ran out of oxygen, they ran out of ICU beds, and then you saw it spread across Brazil, we should have been worried in India. Instead, we were still going to Goa and having parties and enjoying ourselves. Brazil was the biggest warning sign, but there were others as well. Brazil might have been a long way away, but the United Kingdom surely wasn't. Flights to London continued while the new UK variant came out into the open. India suspended flights to and from the United Kingdom after much cajoling, despite the fact that many European nations had already suspended travel to and from the United Kingdom well before that. And we also restarted flights to and from the United Kingdom while understanding that the UK variant was far more transmissible than the original coronavirus. Today, genomic testing has revealed that there's a huge outbreak of the UK variant, particularly in northern India. We should have stopped travel to and from the UK just with the same alacrity as the United Kingdom has stopped travel to and from India right now. That brings us to the third major warning sign, the warning signs inside India itself. People were warning of a new strain in Amravati, which is near Pune. We're saying, Maharashtra has this new strain. Should we be worried? It was Maharashtra that insisted on RT-PCR tests for people entering the state. But people from Maharashtra were traveling everywhere. Delhi did not insist on people coming from Bombay having a test. And even if you did get tested, It was very rarely checked. I'll give you my own example. I had to travel to Rajasthan and got tested at the border. I had driven down to Rajasthan. At the border, we were stopped and just our name and number was taken. There was no checking of the test. There was no Aadhaar linkage to the test. There was no Aragya Setu app linkage to the test. We did not do what we should have done. We should have locked down the country in end March. Yet, politics was more important. And over here, blaming one side over the other is kind of stupid. Everybody was doing it. Everybody. We decided to go ahead with the Kumbh when we should have toned it down. People had holy parties. I know people who went out to friends' places on Holi. And if you look at Delhi, when the huge rush of cases happened, they happened about a week after Holi. In early April to mid-April. Many people, thankfully, are coming out of that now. But that is the big problem. We did not see what might happen, even though all the warning signs were there. We were blind to it, willfully blind to it, whether it was in government or us in the public. We ignored the signs. We walked out onto the exposed seafloor and now are drowning in the tsunami. I hope things turn for the better. Most of my friends are recovering now. Some were in hospital, they're getting out now. I think the really bad case, today is the 3rd of May. I hope Delhi really is turning a corner. Hopefully by the 7th of May, things will start toning down in this city. But it is still amazing that in Delhi, a city with multiple governments, we have not been able to open a triage center or a centralized helpline number. Shameful what's going on, really. Shameful. And this is a country obsessed with politics. Well, stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay sane despite all that you're seeing around you. I know it's not easy, but you must. And once again, excuse the beard.